Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the next terrifying episode of Random Rhapsodies, Sonnet of Blood. I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master for this Curse of Strahd playthrough. And joining me around my virtual table tonight are Brandie, Dyto, Joe, Marty, and Natalie. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Now, before we begin, we do have a few announcements to get through, starting with the first of our two sponsors for tonight's show, Hero Forge. Marty?
Yeah, Hero Forge offers fully customizable tabletop miniatures with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-use design tool lets you build your perfect miniature online using a fully 3D in-depth character creator right in your web browser, which is where we built our tokens for this evening's game. You can build your own today at heroforge.com.
Thank you, Marty. Our second sponsor for tonight's show is XSplit. XSplit is a high-quality virtual webcam background remover that works with your already existing webcam. Using this program, you can protect your privacy while you work or play remotely by blurring the background, removing it entirely, or even putting your favorite picture as the background instead. You can download the app today at xsplit.com, and if you use the coupon code RANDOM with a capital R, you can get 10% off of your purchase. You can find our referral link in the chat and show descriptions. Last but not least, this next Monday, we are back with another episode of the Aethertech Wars. The crew is currently tracking that squad of thieves through the underground tunnels underneath the village, and it's getting more and more dangerous with every step they make. Should be a lot of fun. Now, you can keep up to date on our schedule and everything we do here on the network by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV, on Twitter as @random_rhapsody, on Blue Sky as @Random Rhapsody, and on TikTok as @Random Rhapsody_TV. And that's going to do it for our announcements. So join us as we dive into the land of Barovia and continue on with the Conclave expedition as they attempt to survive a Sonnet of Blood. And we're back. So you should probably know by now how we do our recaps. I offer up the Random Rhapsody coin, which is good for a nat 20 to anyone who does the recap, which includes me. So I doubt anyone really wants me to get that recap, or get that coin. It's a valuable commodity. So, with that in mind, who wants to do the recap this week?
I'll be doing it this week.
Okay. Well, Urzak, tell us what happened last time on Sonnet of Blood.
Yes, last time on Sonnet of Blood, the party returned to St. Andrew's and returned the bones, which were reconsecrated by the priest. Arena and the children were brought back to the cathedral, where we're assuming that they're going to be safe. Danika continues to intimidate and terrify the local children, as usual. When we went back to the inn, we got a dinner invitation from the Lady Wachter and went to her home for a somewhat tense discussion where she made her intentions to overthrow the Baron known and asked for our help. We decided that the best course of action would be to try to eliminate his enforcer, old bee farm, Urzak. And we asked for a favor in return for our services, and she accepted. Danika and Cog also went up and, with some prodding from Danika, because I heard that little sigh there, decided to take a look at the lady's daughter, who has been driven a little crazy, allegedly by the Baron's son. So that's another bit of help we are assuming that we will be providing. And that's kind of where we're at now.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Okay, there you go. There's the random Rhapsody coin. Don't forget to use it. It's only going to last this session. Well, expedition members. It was definitely an interesting dinner that you all had with Lady Wachter and her friend. Once Danika returned to the lower level, you all finished your meal, talked a little bit about your plans on how you can actually intercept the sheriff and find him in a location that's maybe a little more advantageous to your group. Specifically, you discussed following him when he makes his daily rounds to head down to the lake, which is north of Veros. There, he always goes to check out the fishermen, and make sure they're doing their jobs, and which is going to be far enough away from the town that you're hoping no other guards might get entangled in that sort of thing. Now, once the dinner eventually came to an end, you all really have had an opportunity to kind of discuss a little bit more about all that stuff. But eventually, the evening is going to wind down. Dinner or dessert will be served, drinks, that sort of thing. But eventually, you'll find yourselves being politely but firmly informed that the dinner is over and the lady wishes to retire for the evening. With your meal very firmly complete and no sign of Midwestern goodbye in sight, you are all escorted out of the mansion and into the streets of Veros proper. While that's been going on, Delphine, you elected to stay behind at the church, and you're mainly heading over, staying there to keep an eye out on the children, make sure they don't cause too much trouble. You know how Davos is. And so you spent the last couple hours just kind of hanging out at the church there. My question to you is, other than, keeping an eye on the 3 kids and the small handful of other orphans, including, Milivage, the kid who stole the bones, is there anything you wanted to accomplish during those couple hours?
I think Delphine would probably want a little bit more information about this church where they're going to be, where, the kids are, because, the only experience she really has with this place are returning the bones and being told about the bones. Mm-hmm. So maybe, trying to uncover some more secrets that there might be about this church. Okay. Good or bad.
So, my question is, how would you like to achieve that? You could do something simple, like just, search around the place and see what you find. You could talk to the orphans that are living there. You could certainly talk to the father if you wanted to. If you had any other ideas, lay it out.
Delphine doesn't talk too well. So she's probably gonna just snoop around and do some investigating.
Absolutely.
And just look around.
Are you being stealthy about this, like you're trying to hide and not be seen by the father as you're scoping around? Are you
I don't think she's doing it like suspiciously or anything. I think she's just like any person who's new to a church, just kind of curiously looking around,
nonchalantly moving about and exploring the space, basically?
Right.
Absolutely. Okay, so the first thing I would like for you to do is just make a casual deception check.
This is gonna go so well. Deception. Yep. 6.
That is a 6. And then my second question to you, or my second thing that I'm going to ask you, I should say, is for a investigation check.
This one can't be a 6. It could be a 10. 2. 10, but I rolled a 2.
You did roll a 2. So, here's how your evening went. You're kind of wandering about, looking at different things. You check underneath the pews by like cranking half your head over in an odd angle to scope underneath them. You go rummaging through the pulpit that's right there in front of the altar of the church. You make your way into the rectory, the place where the father sleeps. It's kind of a combination study, library, and bedroom all at once. It's a very small, cramped area, but comfortable. And you begin, like, looking through his desk, opening up drawers, leaving them open as you go through them, wandering over, start kind of pulling things out of his cabinet, going through his robes and that sort of thing, which is probably about the time you notice that the father is just kind of leaning against the door frame, watching you with a curious expression on his face.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
He doesn't really say anything. He was just kind of leaning there with a small smile on his face.
Is there just normal stuff? Like, is it like is it like high quality, or like just like,
No.
or is it like low quality, like almost like peasant garb stuff?
Kind of worse than that, in fact. Everything that this man has hanging up in his closet, all of the is just threadbare and moth-eaten, and obviously redarned over and over and over again over the course of God only knows how many years. The books that you find are tattered and heavily creased. You can see it in places where like pages have been stuck together using tar and other paper kind of in the back to keep it together. Everything that you're seeing here points to a very poor existence, which does kind of make sense given the fact that, like, for 50 pieces of gold, this kid thought he was going to be feeding all of them for months and months. You don't find anything that seems suspicious whatsoever. This church and everything that you're finding within it just looks like a very, very poor, squalid existence in a very, very old church.
When she turns around and notices the father, she's probably startled, but doesn't really show it. Are your living conditions by choice, or is this how the town treats you?
The father kind of smiles a little bit at that. Father Lucian says, I suppose little of both, if the truth be told. There are very few places in Barovia that can be considered wealthy. Take, for example, the mansion that your friends are all dining at today. by our standards here in Veros, their home is an opulent mansion, and yet when you look closely at it, the wood is bowed and moldy, the rafters barely fit together and leaking. Even the wealthy in this town don't have much. Everything here is ancient, beyond ancient, held together by hope, mud, and time. So, we subsist on what donations we have. The Baron has a small endowment that assists with the church, but beyond that, we are forced to, of course, live by our own means. We grow our own vegetables here. We feed as well as we can, but things like, and then he points at the book you have in your hand, which, judging by your keen eye, is probably a couple hundred years old at least. He says, things like that must last well beyond 2-3 generations here. So, as I said, it's a little of both.
Now question, because Dyto wasn't here last time we played. Is the intention to leave Irina and the kids here?
So you have, you, Delphine, have not been party to this conversation. I can't remember. Urzak, did you tell everybody what Irina told you?
About
her wishes regarding the future of your endeavors.
I don't remember if it came up yet or not.
I don't think so. So,
Okay.
from the last conversation that you had, you the intention is to get the kids and let them stay here because it's a safe location. It's now hallowed ground, which means that the undead cannot step foot in the church area. So the conversation was leaving the kids there while you all move on, knowing that the kids are safe.
So at least we know that the kids are going to be here.
Correct.
Okay. So you don't have, she's holding the book, you don't have scribes or anything to help mend or rewrite some of these books? Like, I mean, I'm not a religious person. I'm usually in a school where books are kept well, but this seems a little...
He sadly shakes his head. I'm afraid not. There are few who can read and write within this town, let alone those who do so professionally. There are book traders who come in time and time again, who do sell these sort of things, but books themselves are quite expensive, and it's also well known that Lord Strahd is a fine collector of books. It is said that his libraries are vast indeed, and most of those who bring books into these lands, they inevitably sell them to the one who can pay the most. Those of my order, the one who trained me and brought me up, taught me how to read and write, and I do what I can to maintain what scriptures we have. And he kind of points to the book you're holding once again, indicating that much of the repair work there is his own handiwork.
Look at something. might do some wizardy stuff. Give me just a second.
Fair enough.
Okay. Being a wizard, it's hard sometimes. There are a lot of spells. Okay.
Ain't that the truth?
We're still gonna be in town for like a day or two, right? Or are we like leaving ASAP?
As far as you know, there's a few other things that need to be done. You're talking about staying for the festival, which is the morning after this upcoming next morning. So
Okay.
You'll be there at least 2 days.
Father, could I possibly borrow some of the books that are more important? I don't know, while we're in this town, maybe help fix them up, rewrite them, put them in some better condition.
If you are able to, I would absolutely appreciate any help you can give. I do have a few tomes that I would love to refurbish if you have the skill to do so. And he goes over to a table near his bed where he selects 2 very middling-sized volumes. Very, very tattered. The leather is kind of peeling on the outside of the book. The other one's made out of wood and is just like you can tell it's kind of rotted a little bit. He brushes off the 2 of them and hands them to you and says, "These are 2 tomes that speak psalms to the morning lord. These would be wonderful to have redone."
I mean, it might take me until the morning. And as she takes them very gently. But I could probably spruce them up a little bit, if not do a little bit of rewriting. Not rewriting, but transcribing.
Please, by all means. Would you like to use my desk here in my rectory? Or there is, of course, the cathedral, or the chapel itself.
Which one's more public? Probably the cathedral?
The chapel. Yeah, there's no cathedral. It's just a chapel.
Let's do it there. That way I can still keep an eye on the
Kids?
children.
Absolutely.
Delphine was gonna call them something different, but...
Fair. The father leads you out of his rectory. He picks up a small writing tablet as well, just a little kind of desk thing that you could sit on your lap, and he brings it along with you out to the chapel where the kids have been kind of playing a little bit of tag around the pews.
Yeah, I will spend, I guess, the rest of the time. I don't have mending prepared until after a long rest, but I do have prestidigitation, so I might try to like clean them up, dust them off with some of my magic to see if I can. Do I understand the language that it's written in?
You do. It's in that Barovian variation of Common, where a lot of it's similar, but they have like extra vowels or extra consonants in different places. It's kind of weird. But you also have the imprinted ancient Barovian in your mind as well, from the Ghost Children previously, which also definitely helps. Anytime there's like one of those weird words that somebody wouldn't understand, you got it. You're good.
Yeah, I will read through as much as I can of the tomes that I'm cleaning up, but as I write them. Cog might like this information.
Absolutely. Well, you sit down and begin to work on your books, prestidigitating them, reading over them. You can make a religion check for me real quick, and also a perception check.
Okay.
Since I assume you have to, keep half an eye on the kids.
$12 on a religion. Ace of perception.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, over a 17 for perception.
Not bad. Not bad. As far as the book goes, you're not the most religious of people, as you yourself has freely admitted, but even you can't help but notice that, like, as you're reading through the Psalms, there's some, like, visual similarities to Balrus, the father of Laropa. There's like some similarities there as far as like the fire iconography, the sun, that sort of thing. But that's really where the similarities lie. But they're certainly still there. You also are kind of keeping an listen in on the children and half an eye on them as they kind of play together with the handful of other children that are there at the orphanage. They seem fairly happy, and Davos, of course, is the loudest of all of them, still swinging around his stick sword, jumping up onto the top of the podium and jumping off and swinging it like he's having mock sword fight battles and things like that. It's adorable. Which also allows you, since you are paying attention to the kids, to hear a sound in the distance. It's outside the church, and in fact, it's the only reason you hear it is because you happen to be sitting near an open window in the chapel. The sound is a distant, but still high-pitched scream, as though they are in pain, along with a very distant "help me." But we'll get back to that.
You're so mean.
It's probably fine, right?
As for the rest of you, Cog, Danika, Vide, Urzak, the four of you have been escorted out of the Wachter house, along with Irina, who had to at one point excuse herself to go to the bathroom to recast her alter self spell. So she's a little low on the spell slots right now, but she is still maintaining that kind of old lady look to her. She has dark hair instead of red. She kind of has some warts on her nose. One of her eyes are milky white. But other than that, it's still Irina. With the five of you exited the building and starting to walk away from, as I described, a slightly dilapidated, very ancient manor house. Is there any conversation over what had just transpired in the conversations of the dinner?
Well, I'm not. I don't know how much we can trust Lady Wachter, but I do believe something needs to be done about the Baron, and definitely the Sheriff, Old Bee Farm. I just get a weird sense about her. I'm almost afraid we're trading one bad leader for another. I mean, is that really our place to do that?
Well, I mean, we can clearly see that the person in charge now is, very much
hopefully,
no good.
Hopefully she is not as bad if she does take control as the current leadership.
All we can hope is she is the lesser of two evils.
I suppose.
I feel like we should maybe, I don't know, meet the Baron at least once before we raise hell.
Well, I suppose we'll meet him at the festival.
Yeah, but when are we supposed to do our assassination again? Is that tomorrow before the festival?
First off, not so loud.
Oh, yeah. She was whispering it. I swear.
Well, let's see. Make a stealth check.
Oh,
Shit, sorry.
Isn't it like 18 already?
No, it's not. But I'm pretty sure you
No.
do have, and you don't get advantage on this either because you're speaking, not walking.
Do-do-do. 21.
Okay, yeah, you were whispering. It's fine.
Okay, thanks.
Second off, yeah, I'm pretty sure in the morning.
I mean, at that point, all bets are off. Once we take him out, I don't think meeting the Baron's really going to change anything.
No. The only reason I feel more comfortable with Lady Wachter than the current leadership is she seems to have less of an active distaste for us, or if she does, she's better at concealing it. That the old beef arm, as you keep calling him, I don't like. I mean, none of us like him, but we need to take care of that as soon as possible.
Yeah, we definitely have some beef with old beef arms. Or beef arm over there. Especially he's kind of weird with, our good friend Irina here. At least with the dolls that strangely look like her. 'Cause that's him, right? That was him that was getting those.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
At that mention, Irina kind of looks over at you all and
Oh shit, did we not say that to her?
Oops.
What is this about? No, actually, Urzak did tell him. You actually, no, it was Delphine and Danika who told her about the dolls. She does know.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's why she's in disguise.
Yes.
Been a while.
Yes. So what she does say to you, however, is, I am very interested in these dolls myself. I do not deny this. Just seeing one made of me, there's got to be something there, but no matter what, if he is the villain that they claim he is, we must stop him. We must make sure that he is not there to interfere with the lady's ascension.
Maybe we finish this conversation at the church. What do y'all think?
Yeah, that might
Yeah.
not be bad.
Thinking back to what Cog saw with the daughter, just in his time, chronicling all of the things for the Conclave back in Europa, is there any is he the son? She believes the son tortured her in some way or did something to her. Is there anything that he's ever read about or come across that would give him any idea of what was done to her?
This is going to be a medicine check for you.
Oh yeah. You could roll that for me since I am unable at the moment.
Yep. Does anybody want to roll that for him?
Oh, I got it. Medicine, you said?
Yes.
Loading. Oh, I can't read these. They're so tiny. Oh, somebody else got it. Nope, somebody.
So tiny, like Cog.
That's a 16.
Okay, 16. And I also see your question, Vide. The answer is, where the general goods store is. It's actually near the stockyard where your wagon and your mules are currently stabled. Anyway, with your 16 cog, seeing the way she reacted, seeing the way she was, the way she portrayed herself, the way the way she held herself in that room there, and given your knowledge of things like psychology and the like, you saw a deeply disturbed young woman. Whether or not it was done by magic or done by cruelty, well, you do know the fact that the Lady Wachter did say that the sun has weird lights coming from his room. The thing that you're seeing is, well, it's not really Stockholm Syndrome, but it's similar. This young woman acted as though her mind had been driven from her. And the way she was acting looks very much like a trauma response. There's no way to know exactly what that kid did, or whether or not it was the son of the Baron himself. That's what the lady said. But you can tell that whatever happened to this girl, it kind of drove her mind out of her. And the way she's acting now is just a coping mechanism to the very obvious trauma that she must have been inflicted with.
I'm worried about the experience. Once we take care of the sheriff, if that's possible, what's going to happen when we deal with the Baron? And in particular, his son. Because if it is his son that did what happened to that young woman, I hope we're going to have some help from the townsfolk. Because I've never really, I've come across some experience with it, but that young woman's mind is fractured. Something very, very serious happened to her. And it's almost as if her mind is retreated. And now, I don't know how to heal her, but I guess until we find out exactly what happened to her, I don't know that she can come back. I want to help her. I know that's not a condition on her helping us take down the Baron. It's more of us doing a favor. But I'm not sure what I can do for her. Danika, you saw her. It's very dangerous. That's all I can say.
It's okay, Cog. We got time. They didn't need us to do it right away. We'll work it out.
I do appreciate you volunteering me for that as well. I love when that happens.
Well, I know you're so good at it.
Is that so?
Cog's healing touch is fantastic.
God damn it. It's called Cog's Good Touch, thank you very much. But that's not the point. I don't mind, especially when it comes to children. That's who I'm going to be in more particular, it's not a big, stretch for me to want to help. And that young woman certainly needs our help. And she seems to be an innocent in all of this. I hope we're not having some big scheme pulled on us and, Lady Y and maybe the Baron's the good guy. Who knows in Barovia. But I'm willing to extend Lady Wachter a little faith on behalf of her child. But just in the future, maybe, pull me aside and suggest these things.
Okay.
I'm surprised you wanted to torture some children and that you're wanting to help another.
Now, as Cog is, ribbing you a little bit on that, Danika, the whole conversation is paused by the exact same thing that Delphine is hearing right now. But you're hearing it quite a bit closer. It's a bit more clear, though still somewhat at a distance. The fact of the matter is that right now it is the dead of night. It is at least 9 o'clock. And most of the town is silent, other than, maybe the occasional sound coming from a house as you pass by. So very clearly, you would hear screaming out in the dead of night, someone, "Ah! Ah! Get it off! Get it off me!"
I'm running, I guess.
Yeah, how do you all react?
Yeah, I mean, are we still en route to the church, or did we get inside the church?
You have been walking down the street, heading towards the church, but you're not quite near there yet. You're probably you had maybe a 15-minute walk to get to the church, and the sound of screams definitely coming from the opposite direction. If you were to guess, it sounds like it's coming from the west, somewhere closer to the entrance to the town where you first came in.
I mean, I feel like we should probably go and see what that's all about. Urzak, you said you already took off?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna follow Urzak. And as I'm going, I'm gonna be, pulling my gun out, getting that ready.
Okay. Is everybody following the two of them?
Oh, yeah.
Follow back a bit.
Okay. Delphine, you've heard the same thing, though it's at a much farther distance. And it's somewhere outside the confines of the church.
I'm gonna put the books in my pack so I don't forget them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna check it out. Lady's screaming.
Absolutely. You're definitely hearing that as you get out of the church. Ah, help! Help! Help me! The rest of your group is going to be getting there sooner than you do, obviously. As you're running down the street, heading to the west, you hear another yell calling out, "Brother, please, get it off! Ah! You come running down the road, coming somewhat close to the stockyard. And as you kind of reach that pathway where it heads south, you can see it's very dark, obviously. There is a still lit torch on the ground in the middle of the stockyard, and it is partially illuminating the wagon that you had all seen Rictavio on previously. Big green thing, gold letters on the sides. The back doorway to it, into the wagon, wide open, and three individuals, in fact, are in front of it. There is something on top of something else. It's hard to make out completely. You start running towards it a little ways, and you see that it's those two idiot brothers, the ones that invited you to Lady Wachter's for dinner. Nikolai and Carl. Nikolai is trying to push something that looks like a giant cat of some sort, which is on top of his brother Carl, with Carl's arm in its jaws, ripping back and forth. Like, have you ever seen a cat pounce on a bird and then shake it back and forth? That's kind of what you're seeing, but it's poor Carl.
Yeesh.
What do you do?
You said it's like a cat creature?
Yeah, it looks like some type of big cat, maybe a lion of some sort. It's difficult to tell because there's not a whole lot of light. There's just the light from that one torch there. But it has an iron helmet on, so it makes the whole frame of the thing difficult, and it also looks like it's wearing a breastplate. Now that you're getting closer to it, you can see the gleam of the fire of the torch off of it.
Yeah, so this isn't just some regular kitty cat. This is an armored creature. I mean, you gotta help him, right?
Well, I think if Vide sees that he's got his gun out, can I just take a shot at it?
Okay, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and roll some initiative as I show y'all the scene.
Should we wait until you get there with our tokens?
There you are. Should be there on there now. Everybody see the map?
Uh-huh.
Perfect.
It's still loading for me. You can bear with me. Well, I got 18 initiative. I don't know if it's going to be automatically in there, but...
If you clicked on your character, yep, it's in there.
Well, I rolled before it loaded, so it's taking...
I guess we got to roll for Cog.
Yes, somebody will need
yeah.
to roll for Cog, and don't
Great.
forget to...
Click on cog before you roll.
Yep.
Okay, let's get some better battle music, don't you think? Okay, so, Delphine, you are basically about 2 turns behind everybody else. You're getting close because they stopped and they kind of saw this scene for a minute. So, just keep in mind you are 2 turns behind us.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and start things off. Good news is that, Delphine, you're actually the first one in initiative, so you are now only 1 turn away from getting here. Next up
Could I just like quickly do a bonus action and just go into my blade song so I can move a little faster?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you heard something's going on. You're sensing trouble. It's Barovia. It's not a stretch. So you go into your blade song, which does propel you forward and helps you getting there a little bit closer, or sooner, I should say. Next up is Vide, and it sounded like you said you wanted to do something about that. Can't hear you.
Oh, it helps if I turn my mic on instead of off. Anyway, I am going to definitely do something about this. I want to expend a grip point to use Deadeye Shot, which is this. I get advantage on this.
I like it.
Ooh, how about a nat 20?
Yeah, that's awesome. A nat 20 is definitely going to hit.
And I will go ahead and take that grip point back.
Yes, you will. And looks like 9 points of damage.
Yes, 9 damage. And you know what? I'm gonna use, because I got second attack, I can use that again, can't I?
You absolutely can.
Okay, I got a freebie, so I'm gonna do it again. That did not work out in my favor.
That did not, unfortunately. So at the cost of a second grit point, you are going to miss.
But hey, yay for that nat 20.
Damn right. Okay, next up is the saber-toothed tiger, who just got shot in the side. You like when you came upon the scene, you saw that Carl, like I said, is on the ground. His arm is up. The tiger has got its jaws on the arm of Carl and was ripping him side to side.
Should I move my token a little bit closer, though?
You're welcome to. You do have the movement. But once you shot the tiger, his brother Nikolaj was trying to push the tiger away, but then when you shot the thing, it hits right in the shoulder, causing the tiger to cry out in pain, letting go of Carl. The tiger looks directly at you, Vide, as you're starting to come closer. Your gun is smoking a little bit as it's moving toward. I actually forgot to do the sound effects. I gotta do that real quick. Love that sound effect. There we go. And the tiger ain't happening with that. It turns its head, looks directly at you, and comes rushing towards you.
And seeing that if I have time to react, I just kind of hold my hands out. I was like, come on, come at me.
Okay, it has just enough movement to come running at you. Well, technically, yes, these two would have attacks of opportunity. They have no weapons. They're drunks. And one of them is bleeding profusely, so I don't think either of them would use their attack of opportunity in this moment. The tiger comes running up towards you, Vide, and as it's doing so, it just jumps at the last second, leaping directly towards you in a pounce. Let's see whether or not it hits you. A 14, I believe, misses. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So, the thing comes pouncing at you, slashing, trying to topple you, but you jump back out of the way at the last second, and it goes right past, missing. The thing seems to be turning a little bit, and as it does, it makes a bite at you. But another 14 misses. That's it for
Like I said, come at me.
Next up is Nikolai, who is crouching down now next to his brother. He's pulling at his shirt. He has a very, for Barovian standard, fine quality tunic and a waistcoat, and he's ripped that off. Brass buttons go flying as he rips it off and starts bandaging up his brother's arm, trying to stop the bleeding. So he's going to use his action to do a medicine check. Not doing a very good job. He is drunk as a skunk. His movements are very clear in that regard, and while he's trying to stop the blood on his brother, it's just being smeared everywhere, and his brother's crying out in pain. Corwan, you are up next. You are currently about, let's see right here. You are about 35 feet away from the saber-toothed tiger and Vide. You're kind of behind Danika and Urzak right now. At a distance, it looks like the injured person who's on the ground, Carl, is 75 feet away from you. So that's what's going on. That's where you're at. So what would you like to do?
Healing word's what, 60 feet?
Yes.
He'll move, I guess, kind of diagonal, so he's not running at the saber-toothed tiger. But if you can move me kind of like in a direction to get within 60 feet, and I should have level 3 spells. I should have some slots open. If he can toss a healing word at the injured brother at level 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then for the aggroed kitty cats, we will do cantrip of, we will do Toll the Dead on the, as his action on the saber-toothed tiger.
Absolutely. So that's a wisdom save from the tiger.
It should be a 15 for my save.
Level. Toll dead. DC 15.
With an 18, the tiger did save. However, your healing word goes off, and Carl on the ground just kind of does this as you heal him for 10 points.
Yeah, I guess he'll just call out and be like, he goes, "Could you two honestly stop fucking up?" It's like, first you pour a beer on me, which I did not like, and now you're getting eaten by random cats. What? I'll deal with you in a minute. And he's berating them like they're children. And so he goes, we'll talk later. We'll talk later.
Absolutely. Next up is Carl. He pushes his brother off of him and pulls back the waistcoat that's just sopping with blood and looks at his arm, and it's fresh and healed. He has been fully healed, and he kind of looks back at your group. He can barely see you all in the darkness, but he calls up, "Thank you! Thank you! I do not know who is there, but thank you!" As he's like trying to stand up, he's gonna look around and see that the tiger is currently engaged with Vide, and so for his action, he's gonna run towards the wagon with the door open and climb up inside of it.
What a bitch!
You hear the door slam from the wagon. You also hear Nikolai call out, "Brother, you coward! Let me in there too!" But it's not his turn.
You know what I was gonna ask? Are these guys gonna help us take out the sheriff? No.
No.
Oh yeah, definitely they will.
Urzak, you're up.
Okay. I've been thinking, and now all my thoughts just went. I'm gonna run up. Let's see. How far away is this? That's definitely my movement. 25 feet. Hello. I feel like killing this thing is gonna get us in trouble somehow. Like, I don't know, like just a loose saber-toothed tiger on the street seems odd. But I am gonna take a crack at it with my axe.
Crack away.
Non-lethally.
Non-lethally? Okay.
Well, it doesn't matter. That's a 10.
Yeah, that is a miss. You just swing at the cat, but it was watching you because you came running up towards it, and as you swing, it just ducks low underneath your attack.
Second attack. 20.
that will hit.
For I don't have any smites left for today. 8 damage.
8. Well. Okay, 8 points of damage to the cat. You do a cut with your battle axe. The creature still kind of ducks down and tries to evade it. You get a good clip across its shoulder, but it's a very shallow gash. It doesn't seem like it did. Like, it did full damage, but it didn't do a lot to the creature.
Okay. That's my turn.
Okay. Danika, you're up next.
Danika is going to make her way a little bit forward. Probably about here. And then she's gonna cast Speak with Animals. And she's gonna yell at it. But not like, enough for it to hear it. Not like crazy frustrating.
Okay.
But she's gonna go, well, damn, you just can't attack people, even if they are 2 idiot drunks. And then I guess that's it. Calm down.
Okay, so make a persuasion check. It was your action to cast Speak with Animals, but I still will allow you to use your bonus action.
Okay, persuasion. An 18.
Okay. You call this out to the cat, and it does look up at you, and you see like kind of a surprised expression on its face. Like the eyes kind of did a little weird sort of squint at you behind the iron helmet it's wearing. It definitely seems like it's caught your attention, but it's not its turn yet. So we'll see what happens beyond that.
Okay, and then that's it for my turn.
Delphine, with the assistance of your blade saw, you've gotten here a little bit quicker. You are kind of a little ways back here, but you can see your friends at a distance. You can see a gigantic saber-toothed tiger. What's your passive perception?
Not great. 12.
Still not. Yeah, it's not great, but fortunately, you do see what I was about to describe. So here's the thing. You definitely see the cat. It's got the helmet on. It's got a breastplate on. It's circling around your friends. Near the corner of one of the nearby buildings, you see a bit of movement in the shadows. There's a little rain barrel there, and you see a head peek out. It's hard to make out the details of them. They are hidden, but you're with your passive perception. You do catch sight of them. They're not hiding very well.
I think seeing her friends, one of the first things, even like spotting that, she's like, I heard a woman scream. And I'm gonna vortex warp whoever's in that rain bucket to me. I'm gonna assume that they're within 90 feet.
Yeah, they're definitely within 90 feet of you. What roll do they have to make?
It's a Constitution. Let me see if I can find. Here we go. And it is a DC 16.
DC 16. You see that individual hiding in the shadows behind that rain barrel. You focus your magic on them and vortex warp them right next to you. And pop! An individual appears right next to you in a long blue cloak and a goofy hat, bright blue breeches, and a tunic. You recognize the half-elf Rictavio.
What the hell, dude?
He does this double take, like, what the... His mouth kind of goes wide, but he recovers quickly and he says... What? That's mine. It will absolutely hurt you, but we can't. We got to get it back in the wagon. Listen, I'll explain later. Just don't hurt it, but we got to get it in there quickly before the guards show up.
Can I see inside the wagon?
You cannot. The door has been closed.
Okay. I will yell that louder. What is Rictavio again? He's an elf, right?
Half elf, yes.
Okay, so he's not a little man.
No,
Okay.
he's taller than you are.
This guy said it's his, and it needs to get in the cart.
And as you yell that really loud, he's like, "Shh! Can't let the guards know." You still technically have a bonus action and movement if you want to use it.
I'm gonna use my movement, but I'm dragging this guy with me because I don't know that I've actually met this man yet.
You met them, or at least
like
you
I
saw
met him,
Yeah.
like I've seen him, but Danika had a conversation with him. I have not.
Yes, that is fair.
So I'm just gonna drag him with me. So I can move 20, bringing him with me.
He's not going to resist. He's going to allow you to let him drag you, or let you drag him 20 closer.
Do you have any kind of control over this beast?
He is trained, but he is a tiger as well, so I'll do what I can.
Bringing him with me. So. Ooh. And you said he's not resisting, so he's just walking with me.
Yeah, he is not resisting. He will go with you, so you can drag him 20 feet.
Go. 20 feet here. Let me see what bonus actions I have. Do I have... anything that can potentially get this? Not really. So I'm just going to use my bonus action to move even closer.
You can use your bonus action to move?
Oh no, I didn't cast Expeditious Retreat. I'm not going to do that. That's a waste of spell. No, that's going to be it.
About to say, yeah. Okay. Vide, you're up next.
So I'm assuming I heard that, like saying not to hurt or not to kill the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, to more so corral it.
Okay. So I am going to put my gun away. I am going to. You know what? I'm gonna pull out my thorn whip. And I'm not gonna attack it. I'm just gonna kind of stand there with it kind of ready. So I figure, you know how they do in the circus, I use the whip to kind of guide the thing.
So, okay. If you want to, I'll allow you to use your action to make an intimidation check. Since you're using the whip to kind of do that crack, scare it back, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a bonus to this.
That would be a 10.
That would be a 12. Let's see how he reacts. You're cracking the whip at the cat, trying to intimidate it. Snap, snap. And every time you do this like right near where its paws is. It seems to be backing up a little bit. Its focus is drawn between you, Vide, and Urzak. It definitely seems to be intimidated. I'm gonna kind of hold and like. If it starts to attack anybody, I will absolutely kind of, crack it with the whip to, kind of like a swat in the nose, like bad kitty. Well, you're certainly intimidating it right now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll a d6. A 1 and a 2. It is going to attack you, V, because you are drawing its attention and it is scared. Now, 3 and 4, it is going to attempt to, it's going to do a little bit of a both. It's going to attack, but it's also going to try to get away. A 5 and a 6, it's straight up intimidated, and it's going to be using its turn to back away. So let's see what happens. That's a 1. The creature is definitely intimidated by you. It crouches its head down low. You can see all of the fur along the back bristling in obvious fear of you. It's going to attempt to attack you. It is just going to be making 1 claw attack. That, however, is a nat 20.
With my reaction, I would like to impose disadvantage with my protection fighting style.
Love it. You throw your shield up at the last minute trying to block Vide. That is still going to be a 24.
Well, at least it's not a crit. Thank you, Urzak. I do appreciate it.
9 points of slashing damage as it cuts deeply into your thigh.
Ouch.
The cat is then going to growl very loudly. It's attempting to intimidate back. But, yeah.
It's like, you remember in Lion King when little baby Simba tries to roar?
Yeah, kinda. That is hilarious. Nikolai goes running over to the cart. He hasn't seen Rictavio. He has no idea he's there. He is going to attempt to pull the door open and get inside. Yeah, he's not able to with a 13. His brother is... Oh, I do need to roll for his brother. Hold on one second. The door kind of goes open a little bit and then pulls closed. The door kind of goes open a little bit, pulled closed. Stop it, Nikolai! Let me be safe! I was the one who is hurt! Is the muffled sounds from the inside. Corwan, you're up next. Cog, you with us?
Yeah, sorry, I had a mute. So we know he's friendly. I mean, son of a bitch, I don't know that I have. I would say I could druidcraft some, but that's only gonna... Ooh. All right. Cog will take out, like, if he's got a coin or something in his pocket, he's just gonna take something out, and he's gonna cast the light cantrip on it. And then he's gonna kind of, like, shake it in front of the cats, in front of the saber-toothed tiger. They'd be like, ooh, look at the pretty light, kitty. Look at the pretty light. And then he's going to toss it. I guess, are they trying to get into Rictavio's fucking wagon?
Well... one of them is
Where the
currently
cat needs to
in.
go?
Yeah, one of them is
Oh my
currently
God
in the
damn it.
wagon, and the other one is like holding the door open while the other one tries to pull it open.
Shit. All right, well, you know what? Fuck it. He told them they're dumb idiot children. Say he's gonna light up that coin, and he's gonna vigorously shake it to get the cat's attention, and then he's gonna do his best to hurl it towards the wagon as he's shouting to the brothers, "I'm sorry about this." You're like, "I'm sorry, but you two need to run. But be quiet about it." As he tosses the coin in that direction.
Make for me an animal handling check.
Hey, I got decent wisdom. That's animal handling, right?
That's me. That's my cue. Click the
Yes.
button.
Now, since he lit up a shiny object at night, can he get advantage?
18.
Hey, it's not bad. It's 18.
It's actually pretty good. With an 18, yeah, the cat's definitely. You have the light. You're flicking it. It's casting a little bit of a beam on the ground. The cat looks over at it, sees it, and then you start getting ready to throw it. Now, give me an athletics check.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's not as
how this is
good.
gonna go.
That's not as good. But you know what? He's gonna crit this one.
It was close.
I do.
19.
19.
Yes.
You just kind of baseball lob it. It goes soaring over the head, arcing, and lands on the ground, not far from Nikolai. Oops, that's the wrong button.
He shouted for them to run. So.
Jesus Christ. Urzak, you're up next.
Okay, sensing that.
D&D laser pointer, baby.
D&D laser. Urzak's gonna go, my bad, and lay on hands for the 8 damage that he did.
To the cat? Okay.
Yeah.
Like it.
My bad.
If you promise to chill out, here, and I'll heal the axe wound that.
So
I did.
here's what I'm gonna do, because the cat is a cat. Whether or not it's gonna let you touch it is an interesting thing there. He is distracted. He's been intimidated by Vide. He's been distracted by Cog and is now looking the opposite direction. So that definitely reduces the AC. Give me an acrobatics check or a sleight of hand check, either or. This is just a quick dex check to try to touch the cat.
Okay. 19.
19, you have no problem touching it. You heal him for how much did you say?
8. Just the damage that I did with my attack earlier.
Got it. He is moderately healed. He still has the big gaping bullet hole wound from Vide, but he's bleeding a little bit less.
Let's go back in the wagon. Yeah.
That was your
Alright.
action. Do you have anything else you'd like to do?
I don't really have any bonus actions. I don't have any spell slots. I'm so tired.
Okay. Carl is up next. He is yelling, "Let go away, Nikolai! Let me hide here!" He is just gonna. He's staying in the wagon.
Chew toy in a minute.
Has no clue what the fuck's going on. Danika, it's your turn. You can talk to animals. What do you want to do?
Danika is going to make her way a little bit closer to the fur baby.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna talk to it in like a real sweet voice, and she's gonna just, buddy, hey there, buddy, and she's gonna have her little her hands, in a way that the cat can see them, and she's gonna go, we don't want to hurt you. We just, we couldn't let those two idiots die, and we heard him screaming. He was squealing like a pig, and everybody could hear him around here.
make for me a persuasion check or an animal handling check. I'll allow either.
Well, shoot, I'm gonna do persuasion. Persuasion.
You can talk to him.
A 17.
You say this with a 17, and the cat, it's still looking at that light that's over yonder towards Nikolai, and you hear the cat saying, hungry, hungry, I smell food, so hungry.
Danika, can I have a conversation with it, or do I gotta wait for another turn?
I'll allow a little bit more of back and forth, but not too much farther.
Okay, Danika's gonna go, hey, I have some food for you. You can't eat him. I can get you some food, though.
Food. He always brings me food. Makes me smell the scents. Not enough. Hungry. So hungry.
Well, Danika is going to... Can I reach in... how much... Can I do an action? Can I, reach into my backpack and get jerky?
So far you've only really used... You've talked to the cat a little bit, but that's about it. I'll allow you with an action if you want to. You take out some jerky and kind of entice him.
Okay, yeah, then I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna keep, kind of talking to it, cooing at it and being, real gentle. Well, we can get you some more food. We just can't have you hurting those two idiots.
You pass out that jerky. Give me an animal handling check.
Oh no, I don't know how I'll do in that one. Animal handling. 19.
19, yeah. With the jerky out and dangling it in front of it, it keeps wanting to look back at the light that was over there towards Nikolai that Cog had thrown, but he turns back and very quickly snaps the piece of jerky out of your mouth, or out of your hand with its mouth, and begins crunching it. What?
Did we just lady into the trampet?
Sure, if you want.
Okay.
And then the cat bites your head off.
Oh God.
Is that the end of your turn?
Does it seem like it's calmed down a little bit? Kinda?
It seems to be munching on the jerky right now. It's still looking at that light that Cog had thrown, and it's munching, and it definitely seems confused and not sure. So I wouldn't say it's calmed down, but
okay.
You've at least got it away from attack defend mode.
Danika's gonna go, oh, do you like that light?
I think that's probably going to be it as far as conversation for this round. Next up, we do have Rictavio. Rictavio, seeing the fact that you've all kind of distracted the cat and in various different ways, you see him, Delphine, reach into his coat and begin pulling something out. It appears to be a small doll. Very small, only about this big. Dressed in an outfit that looks very similar to the Vistani that you've met so far. At least as far as the colors and the style and the get-up. It has dark long hair and dark little buttons for eyes. It definitely reminds you of a Vistani. He brings this out and he approaches your group. 5, 10, 15. Over towards the saber-toothed tiger, and he begins wafting it back and forth as well. The cat, while still munching on the jerky, its head perks up, and it's watching that doll. Rictavio continues to move it back and forth, walking around you, Urzak and Delphine, and around the two of you and towards the wagon. And as he does so, the cat is almost unable to help itself, begins taking one step, and then another towards Rictavio. The half-elf looks back towards the wagon at the idiot Nikolai, still banging on the door, and he looks back at your group and says, "Get them out of there." And then he continues to crouch low and wave that doll back and forth, which seems to be occupying the cat's attention. Delphine, it is your turn.
I can only see one of the idiots. Right? He's still outside the cart?
Yes.
Or did he? Okay. I'm going to use a 3rd level vortex warp to bring him back next to me.
Okay, this should be good.
DC 16.
Well, actually, it was better than I was expecting it to, but it's still a 15. So you're bringing him back to you?
Yeah.
You cast your spell. You see the guy just like arms hanging on the handle of the door when suddenly, pop, disappeared and appears right next to you.
Dumbass.
What just
sit down and be quiet.
He looks like he's about to protest, but
I just saved your life. Sit down and be quiet.
make me an intimidation check. Have at advantage, I feel like.
Natural 20.
You don't need advantage. Like a good boy, he sits down, thunk, and you can almost see a little tail wagging behind him. Vide, you're up next.
Okay, well, I mean, I feel like we got this kitty under control now, so, I mean, I'm just gonna kind of just maintain, like, you know, just in case we need backup for some reason.
Okay, you're holding your action. The saber-toothed cat needs to make a intelligence check real quick. That would be a 10. That is a failure. It seems to be entranced by Rictavio and this doll. He is very slowly walking towards it, eyes locked on it, moving side to side along with the doll. You can see that Rictavio has reached into the back of his coat once again and pulled out a sack of something. It's difficult to tell what it is. It just seems a little wet, the sack. But he's holding it back while holding the doll up front. Cog, it's your turn.
Well, we got one brother under control, but the other one's still in the wagon. How far, I guess, is he from the wagon, Cog, now? Because he had to get within 60 for the healing word. And he didn't really move any closer when he did the light cantrip, so... I mean, with his amazing...
You are about 60 feet away from the wagon.
Well, with his amazing 25 feet of movement. Or do I have 30 or if I'm at 25? I
You're
didn't
at
know if I
25.
had 30.
You're halfway.
Yeah, because he's a small guy. I didn't know if I'd done something special to get 30. Well, then he is going to, I guess, kind of as quickly as he can, but also as, like, tell him, just, like, not alerting. I guess, is he in direct line of sight with the cat, or is the cat watching Rictavio?
The cat's focused entirely on Rictavio right
Okay.
now.
Well, that he is going to kind of, like, keeping his eyes kind of on the cat. He says, just start making his way towards the wagon, and he will burn, his action for the speed to get, you said he was 60 feet away, so he'll get within 10 feet, and it's Carl is the one that's inside?
Yes.
Well, he will tell, he's like, all right, Carl, this is Cog, I just healed you. The cat is under control, but it needs to get back in the wagon where you are. So come out and follow me. I guess if you wanted to do a persuasion,
I do. Or intimidation, either or.
I don't think either is going to be better than the other, because those are both charisma, so it should. I don't think I have either one of them is proficient. So if you could roll that for me, Marty.
Yeah. We'll do persuasion, I guess. That's it.
Now, he did heal him earlier.
There's a 3.
So if he's more inclined to listen to Cog for that, but if he won't, I get it. He was. There's a big fucking cat in battle armor.
You also rolled a 3.
Yeah,
so you're yelling this
yelling.
out. It's difficult to tell whether or not they actually heard you, but you do see the wagon kind of shake a little bit.
Might just have to kill Carl. He's just thinking under his breath. He goes, it's like, God, do I have to kill this man? But that'll be since he burned his action for the speed. That'll be his movement. Right, there's his turn.
Urzak, you're up next.
I'm gonna take my movement to get 30 feet next to Cog. And I'm just gonna say, if you don't get out of this wagon right now, the tiger's not gonna be the least of your concerns.
Make me an intimidation check as well.
Okay.
And is Cog the only non-bloodthirsty one in the group?
It's a 12.
Hey, I've just vortex warped a couple of people.
That's true.
Yeah, so you're a good one too, and you've been playing with the kids, so yeah. Everybody else is murderous though.
With that 12, you kind of yell this out to the wagon, and you do see the wagon like rock back and forth a little bit, like somebody's moving inside. The door, however, does not open.
All right. Would that be an action then, I suppose?
And unless you have an action you want to use, I'll allow that as a bonus action.
Well, I will use my action to just dash and just go the extra 5 feet
Sure.
up to the door. And then can I, like, object interaction, just pry the door open?
It's the door is in the back, just so you know.
Oh, it's in the back. Okay.
Yeah, it's toward the back
Well,
of the
let's
thing,
see.
but you'd still get there regardless.
Okay.
Just kind of fucked up. It's literally right there.
Oh, perfect.
Anyway, so you are going to walk over to that and grab the door and just pull it open.
Yeah.
You fling it open. The moment you do, you see the interior of the wagon. You have dark vision. You see Carl sitting there on his bottom with a crossbow in his hand, and the moment you open the door, he fires it. So let's see how good of a job he does.
Carl is also bloodthirsty.
I dare you to crit.
How funny would that be?
It'd be pretty funny.
20 to hit. Wow.
Yeah, that does hit.
That does hit. 11 points of damage. Wow. So the moment you fling that door open, you just see Carl sitting there on his butt with this heavy crossbow that seems to be inlaid with pearls, sitting on his knees. He pulls the trigger, fires it the moment the door opens. He's expecting something to happen, probably the tiger, you hope anyway, but instead what you get is a crossbow bolt lodged into your shoulder. And then just this look of absolute horror on Carl's face. Oh shit! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were the tiger. Ah!
Worse than the tiger.
I told you it would be worse.
You noted that, yeah. I'm just gonna leave it right there. Carl's turn is next, and he just he starts backing up a little bit, but then thinks twice about it. Looking at probably what I'm assuming is just going to be a look of murderous intent on your face, Urzak.
Trying so hard to, like, suppress that, but failing miserably.
He very impotently just crawls forward on hands and knees and kind of sloughs down off of the wagon onto the floor, landing in just a bit of a pile there at your feet. You hear him say again, I'm sorry, I did not mean to do that, as he begins crawling on his hands and knees away from the wagon, trying to keep the wagon in between him and the tiger. But this also gives you an opportunity for a attack of opportunity. If
I will
you
not
so
be attacking
choose.
him.
Are you sure?
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do
Just
it with
backhand him.
about it.
Give him a Jethro Gibbs. Back him on the head.
We'll say DC 13 wisdom save here.
Okay.
You're giving it.
I got
So you call
it.
The thought crossed your mind for a moment, but in the end, you decided to be the better person and not smack the shit out of this guy.
Survival instinct. Survival instinct. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's great.
Danika, it is your turn. You can see that Urzak has the door open, crossbow in his shoulder. You saw Carl kind of slink away, and Rictavio is occupying the tiger for the time being. What do you do?
I guess I'll make my way closer and kind of make it like part way there. I don't know. And then I guess she'll tell Rictavio that the wagon's freed up. Rictavio, the wagon's open. And then she'll be like, come on, kitty.
Give me one more animal handling check.
Oh, shoot. Let me find it. 18.
18. Telling Rictavio that the wagon is open and ready, and then you say to the cat, go on, kitty, get in there. It's still chewing on that jerky. You know, it's jerky, so it takes a little bit. But the cat definitely seems cowed. Definitely seems more interested in listening at this point. It's definitely not lashing out. And being the fact that you can communicate it with your words directing the thing, over the course of the next few moments, on Rictavio's next turn, he continues to lead the creature over to the wagon. The creature seems to be following him, and as Urzak, you kind of step backwards and get out of the way so that the door is nice and wide open. You kind of pull the door back and get it ready. The Rictavio shakes both the sack of whatever gooey thing he has in his hand and the doll at the same time, kind of touches the two of them together, and then throws them both into the wagon. And have him just roll a simple dexterity check. Just because I want this to fail. Oh, that was to GM, but it was a 16. That is a success. He throws it in without issue, and unless Delphine and Vide intend to fuck with the cat, on his next turn he is going to go into the wagon.
I'm just gonna move closer to the wagon.
Yeah, all I was gonna do is kind of, move around here, just overly cautious in case he, at the last minute, decides to change his mind.
Absolutely. And with that, the cat slinks its way in, jumps into the wagon, and then you hear a sound as Urzak, no doubt, very quickly shoves the door closed. And with that, you all are, in the moment at least, out of danger.
Yay!
Rictavio slumps down onto the back door of the wagon. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. I very much appreciate your assistance. Why the hell was the wagon opened?
I walk over, reach down, and grab Carl by like the nape of the neck.
Who was like crawling away, like trying to get away. You just reach down, and grab him, and haul him up. I'm sorry. I did not mean any harm. I swear to God, I did not know that thing was in there.
So what were you doing?
Like he starts sputtering. He's just tripping over his tongue right now. I wasn't doing anything. I came over. I happened to be walking by and I saw that the door was ajar. I came over to look and that thing just jumped out and bit my arm. Look at all this blood. My tunic is ruined. My brother's vest is ruined. And look at what that thing made me do to your shoulder.
Can I do an insight check to see if he's to see if it seems like he's telling the truth about that door already being ajar?
Anyone who wants to can make an insight check.
I would like to as well.
Yeah, an 8. That was bad.
I got a 12.
7.
I guess I got to roll for Cog.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm getting on my computer now, so go ahead and do my last roll for me. And then I'll be on here in a second.
12,
Wow,
13, 14.
Pretty middling across the board, game.
We are the okayest team ever.
Okay, it's team.
That would be Cog with a 14, and Cog, you don't buy that shit. There's no way in hell that door was open. You remember distinctly the fact that the last time you were all over here, that door was padlocked closed.
So you just found it open, huh?
I just found it open. I swear to God.
You didn't help it get open?
He just kind of shrugs a little bit. I would never do such a thing.
I wouldn't know this, but would Cog know if you cast the light cantrip on, let's say, a big scary half-orc's eyeballs to make them glow, would that blind Urzak, or would that just make him look intimidating as fuck?
I feel like that would actually blind him.
Okay, never mind.
What
He was going to
Stop
do
that.
that and just, like, turn him into,
Yeah, that's more of an
Alright, no.
illusion magic kind of thing.
Oh my god.
I have prestidigitation that can do the same thing.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I think you need to be 100% honest with us. You were trying to steal from this man, were you not?
Make for me an intimidation check.
Can the fact that he's currently being held up by Urzak give him
Would this
advantage?
count as a help action, perchance?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
This is definitely a help action.
Come on, roll 20, open. It's coming open now. All right.
Okay.
At least it looks like it is. I hope it is. God damn it, one more time. Give it to me until it can fucking get open.
Go for it. Give me that intimidation with advantage.
Oh, now the character sheet's not loading.
All right, yeah, I got it. It's finally open now. All right, hold on. You said intimidation.
Mm-hmm.
18.
Oh, nice.
He's definitely seems to be sobering up at this point as he says, okay, I admit it. My brother was very curious about what was in the wagon. I told him, I said, Nikolai, you must not break into things. You know the law of the land. But he just insisted over and over that he was curious, that this odd man who's come into town must be hiding something very important to have it padlocked. And sure enough, he absolutely did. He had weapons and all sorts of killing things in the wagon and a horrible man-eating tiger. And just wait until the sheriff and his guards find it. They will absolutely be furious that you brought this thing into our town, but I suppose that since nobody actually got hurt, and the shirt was not one of my favorites after all, that why don't we just let bygones be bygones, and I head home.
Cox just kind of mean mugging him. You have an absolute talent for horse shit. You know that? So you blame your brother. It was Nikolai's idea to break into the wagon. And
He's
then
still
you
nearby.
say, oh, let's tell the sheriff. I'm a very tolerant individual, sir. But do you see this man? And he's just going to kind of point up at Urzak. I guess Urzak's holding him, right?
Yeah.
He's like, do
yeah.
you see that man? Do you look at him closely? Just tell him, point over his shoulder. I guarantee with one fell swoop, he could remove your testicles with his bare hands. So what you're going to do is you're going to say nothing to anyone. Or he will remove your testicles with his bare hands.
Now, Urzak, you're asking whether or not the brother was around.
Yeah, is Nikolai still nearby?
Make a perception check.
Great. I'd love to. Oops, that's persuasion. I don't want that. 16.
16. He is gone. You definitely saw that where you all left him. Delphine had teleported him over near her, but then she kind of walked forward with everybody, and he just pieced out. There's a very, very, very obvious Nikolai-shaped hole.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're like
a hole.
like a little shadow of him that got left behind, and a like little
Still a little cloud of
puff
dust.
clouds. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And so as you're saying this, Cog, telling him, "Hey, you're not going to say anything," Carl just kind of shrugs and says, "Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. I'm sure my mother would appreciate everyone's,
Oh, sir.
keeping
Just-
peace quiet.
Yeah, just stop talking while you can, sir. That's the better. We've spoken to your mother. We just had dinner.
Yes,
With
I
your
was the
mother.
one who invited.
I know. So let's not drag anybody but yourselves into this. You made a mistake. Apologize to the nice man. He called his cat off. His cat didn't eat you. Apologize.
Rictavio has been leaning against the wagon, kind of watching this whole thing. You can see like a big old grin on his face. He's just kind of chuckling this whole time as he's watched.
I don't know why you're smiling. You were hiding in a rain bucket. Barrel.
I was behind one, seeing what exactly was going on. I would not call that the same thing. He just gives you a very charming smile.
Yeah, we'll talk to you in a minute, but Carl, I haven't heard that apology yet.
I'm not going to make you make another intimidation. You all got this guy by the short hairs. He does kind of look a little bit defeated, and he says, "Yes, of course. I am very, very sorry that my brother broke into your wagon.
Carl.
And I
Carl.
am sorry that your tiger got out. I promise that I will say nothing. And look forward to all of you completing the task my mother set for you."
Oh, Carl. Oh, we are going to have a full conversation one of these days, okay? Just, you be quiet. Go home now, please, and go find your brother and make sure he knows to be quiet as well.
Just kind of set him down and make him watch as I rip the arrow out of my shoulder.
Oh my god. Danika's gonna give him a look and go, or else.
Or else. You can do another intimidation check. He's already intimidated by you guys. You can tell he's trying to maintain some semblance of being in control, but it's falling short.
I got a 19.
I got a 9.
Yeah, with your 19, and I know because you're a bard that 9 intimidation is actually something else, but it doesn't.
17, I think.
Yeah, 17. I think.
Yeah.
But
17.
regardless, he doesn't even bother trying to any more of his. I'm not 100% scared here. He just has this defeated look as his shoulder slumps down and he walks very hurriedly away from you all.
Make sure you tell your mother who just saved your ass.
You call this out, and as you all watch him fade into the darkness, you all just kind of can't help but turn your attention towards the half-elf, Rictavio, who's also kind of trying to maintain that shit-eating grin of his. But we'll get to that in a little bit. For now, why don't we go ahead and pause for a good 10-minute break. It's 8 o'clock. We've got a little bit of time left, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes, folks. We're going to make this really quick, and when we get back, we'll find out what our heroes get up to. Stay tuned. Howdy, everybody. We are back, and when we last left off, the team had managed to get Rictavio's saber-toothed tiger that's wearing armor back inside his wagon and has chased off the Watcher brothers from the scene. Now, with the danger gone, Rick Tavio is kind of giving you all a shit-eating grin as he just looks at you all and says, "Now, I don't suppose we could just, let things lie and go have a mug or two of wine?"
Danika shakes her head and she goes, "You know damn well we need an answer to some of this. What was with that doll? Why do you have a giant cat?"
Well, he does run a circus, my dear. I mean, or he says he runs a circus according to his wagon.
In battle armor?
Yeah, that's a little weird. I can't explain that one.
Well, don't you know every circus needs a gimmick?
Battle kitties?
And
Is that a gimmick?
That is kinda cute.
Danika, did I hear you saying something about Kitty being hungry?
Oh yeah, you need to feed your cat more.
That is more intentional than anything else.
Oh, can I real quick just like glance over at the wagon? Is it like fully enclosed, or are there bars?
No, it's fully enclosed. Like, there's no windows or anything other than the top hatch and the doorway inside. Like, you can't see anything in there, and it's fully shut up.
Okay, damn, never mind. Okay.
Rictavio says, "Very well. It's not as complicated as you might suspect." He kind of glances back and he looks towards the entrance of the stockyard where you all currently are at. "I don't know about the rest of you, but I do hear some very hurried footsteps. I have a feeling the guards are going to be upon us at the moment. To make a long story short, as I told you before, Danika, I'm looking for somebody. An individual, a very old friend, and I believe the Vistani know where that individual is. I have been training the cat in the wagon to hunt particular scents that many Vistani tend to have. The doll was wrapped in the clothes of a Vistani. The hair is made out of real hair, and it's meant to smell, and it is perfumed with perfume the Vistani tend to wear. And whenever I feed the cat, I also put out a doll similar to these. I've been training the tiger to be attracted to them. That way, when I find the ones who have abducted my friend, I can convince them to tell me where he is."
You ever heard the phrase, you'll catch more flies with honey? You ever heard of that, If you be nice instead of training a danger kitty?
The half-elf looks at you, and his eyes narrow as he says, "Do you not know who the Vistani serve?
Well,
Honey does not work with them."
It's not as easy as, yes, they serve Strahd.
Oh no.
If you've talked to several of them, a lot of them are not. They're not just Strahd worshippers. He just feels beholden to them because they saved his life. So that's why he allows them to leave, and they do his bidding to a degree, but they're not all working for him.
And who told you that? A Vistani?
Who are you that we should just trust implicitly?
You know exactly who I am.
Oh, do I? I mean, she over there might know more about you. And he's just pointing at Danika, just shaking his head. He's like, but the rest of us don't.
And yet, you seem to trust them so implicitly. These Vistani, who I suspect you don't know very well either, given the fact that, and he kind of gestures towards you all, indicating the fact that you are all not Barovians either.
Hey, I'm not saying they're all perfect. And no, I don't trust. There's a lot about them I don't trust. But I'm also not just gonna, just sick armored, felines on them.
No. Perhaps you wouldn't. But I do not travel with such a troop.
Well, maybe if you're nicer to people, you'd have more friends.
I am still wondering why you were, if you could do your voodoo on the cat, why you were hiding instead of helping those two bumbling idiots.
Rictavio turns and looks at you, Delphine, and he says, "Don't misinterpret the scene you came upon. I may have been crouching there, watching to see what was happening. And for all I knew, idiots were stealing from my wagon, and I didn't want to go running up on a bunch of well-armed assassins. If your friends had not intervened before I could, I would have, of course, tried to get my creature away from them. But, as I said, I had arrived but a moment before yourself, and your friends were already intervened."
Assassins. I know you've been in that. Oh, I know you've been in that bar, the tavern, and I know you've seen them before. Really?
I did not realize it was them until your friend used her magic to teleport me over.
Yeah, I know quite a bit about your kind. You can see in the dark too, mister. I know who you are.
And what does it exactly matter? Half.
You know what?
After all,
because those two bumbling idiots, if your cat had killed them, what if the guards came? What if the guards overheard that? What if those two assholes, if we hadn't intervened and they got away, they would have said something.
Or they could have easily have been dead.
Yeah.
And me and my wagon long gone by the time they're found.
As I say, the guards patrol the town and they've got the gates locked up. But if they all of a sudden, they can see, they've seen your wagon. Is there a picture of the cat on the wagon?
No.
So there's nothing like.
No,
it's
literally just a green wagon that's old faded green paint with gold lettering with the words Rictavio's Circus.
Yeah. But then it says they would see that these two have been mauled, and not by the usual maulings of wolves, but clearly the marks of a cat that large would be different. And they would know, they'd be like, who in town recently was here and had a wagon that said circus? I'm sure they could have put two and two together and started looking for you. I mean, some of the regular folk are stupid, but that sheriff, he's more crafty than he seems. You need to be careful, sir.
He just kind of chuckles. You are literally standing here lecturing me while those same guards you just mentioned are on their way.
We can go now, and we can go back to the tavern and have a more intimate discussion if you like, but I'm just telling you, you need to be more careful.
I will take your advice.
Thank you. That's all I ask.
In the vein that it was given.
Sir. I'm trying to help you.
I do not know you halfling any more than you know I, so I will take that at face value as well. However, as we are in the moment unable to speak about this any further, I trust all of you will have the same silence as you recommended those two fools a moment ago. I would highly recommend that none of you are seen when those idiots arrive. I will speak to them myself.
All right.
Where can I find you once I'm done? I no doubt that you would like to speak.
We paid up for another night so far at the tavern, haven't we?
Technically, yes.
All right.
You also have the chapel, the church.
Yeah, I was like, I guess are we allowed? I mean, can we all stay at the church right now, or is it just going to be the children? I mean, I don't know if we asked the father about that. I don't think we did.
The priest did say that everyone can stay there, and he'll help you out however you need him to.
For now, look for us at the church.
Very well.
You could use a little bit of preaching, if you know what I mean. He's just gonna give him that little. He's gonna hold up his book of, for Lady Andali's. He goes, you could use with something like this. It's like you need a little. I can say you need a little Jesus in your life. It's like you need some religion, sir. Maybe it'll help round you out. And he's like, but we'll be at the church if you need us. And Cock will just start walking that way.
Anybody else have anything they want to say to Octavio before he heads off to go intercept the guards?
Particularly.
Okay.
I do have one question. I have was it bullwog or bullywog meat in my bag right now. How long have I had it there? I don't remember when we killed the bullywogs.
That would have been while you were
It's been a couple days.
Yeah, it's been at least 3 days. I think
That was when we were
4, but definitely at
Ghost
least
Town. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was before we went and rescued Davos.
The kids.
We
Uh-huh.
were at that. We were in the. I don't remember the name of the town off the top of my head.
It
Where
was,
Strahd came and took him.
Yeah,
That was
before
that was even before. Yeah, it was before then that we killed those things.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it was when Delphine was dragging the whole party across the
river.
the river.
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it's been quite a bit.
Because
So
Urzak was exhausted.
I'm gonna kind of grab that out of my pack because apparently I just had it. I'm gonna look at it. It's pretty gross, but and I'm gonna look at Rictavio and be like, you think you could use this to feed your cat? And I'm just gonna drop it by the door.
You just
Of the
drop it by
wagon.
the door wagon. Rictavio just kind of waves his hand over his nose. I don't think so, but I appreciate the thought. You all had better get moving. They're going to be here any minute. And he kind of kicks the bag underneath the wagon and then goes walking towards the entrance of the stockyard.
Okay,
You all, I assume, probably don't want to be seen by the same guards.
Not particularly.
No.
So why don't you all make for me a quick stealth check as you
fucking
are
balls.
leaving the stockyard by a different route. Maybe making your way around past the coffin maker.
Clink, 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 clink,
15.
clink, clink.
I think I'll use the coin on this. and just try to help everybody else.
Well,
9.
Yeah, I guess you can give it to somebody. Yeah, well, I mean, shit, it ain't gonna give it to Delphine. It ain't gonna help. I mean, I guess I could do one more and see, but it ain't gonna help Cog much, probably. But you've got your armor's not at a disadvantage anymore.
Yeah, I don't have disadvantage anymore. I also still only have a +1.
Let's see what happens for you then.
Yeah, if you're using your coin, you can roll at advantage.
I got a 10.
Oh shit! Yeah, you better.
I'll just use it.
Fair enough.
Besides, we're close to the end anyway. Not gonna waste it.
Might be more close to the end than you think if we all die right now.
Jesus.
Cog drank that dark juice.
Okay, Urzak, let's see your stealth.
Well, I used the coin. I got a nat 20, right?
Oh, yes, that's right. I don't know what's going on now. Using the coin, that's going to give you a 20. So, Vide got a 17, Danika got a 15, Cog got a 5, and Delphine got a 9. But so that nat 20 definitely helps out. So while Corwan absolutely is clanging and jingling as he walks behind everybody else, fortunately, Rictavio was able to waylay the guards before they would have spotted you. And you're able to make your way out of the stockyard and head around and about the roads of Varos to get back to the church without being spotted. Danika also has that thing with her
Urchin City
background.
Streets,
Yeah,
or
City
whatever.
Streets,
Yeah, the city streets.
which
where you
also-
go twice as fast.
Yeah, so that you're going to be able to get there twice as fast and a little more stealthily. And 3 successes out of 5 is definitely going to get you there without being spotted. You arrive at the church within short order. You find that it's only been probably about maybe 40 minutes to an hour since Delphine, you've left. You return to the church to find it still lit up. The father is not anywhere to be seen when you first enter into the chapel. But shortly after you close the doors, you do see him coming out by very, very quietly closing the door to the large common bedroom where the children sleep. He sees you all stepping into the church, and you see a big smile on the man's face. He comes hurrying over, and he looks at you first, Delphine, and he says, "I was wondering where you got off to. You kind of ran off, but I was able to get the children and get them all washed up and into bed, and Davos told everyone a very, very fascinating tale about fighting scarecrows and him throwing magic fire at them. It was quite exciting for the children. But it is good to see you all back. Is everything all right?"
Yeah, I thought there was a woman screaming. It turned out to be somebody else.
Are they all right?
Yeah, they're fine. Cog fixed them right up.
Good. I will not ask any more details than that. I'm just glad to see you all safe. You are welcome here in the church. I was planning on locking the doors here fairly soon. It's getting somewhat late, and so I was planning on dousing a handful of the candles and heading off to bed myself. But before I do, is there anything I can help you with?
I think I'm good. for the night.
Yeah, I'm ready to crash. We have an early morning.
I understand.
Vide is gonna look at the priest and I'm gonna pull out. I've got 4 empty vials in my pocket or bag, wherever they are at. Anyway, but I'm gonna pull 4 vials out, and I'm gonna ask the priest if he would mind filling them with holy water.
Yes, certainly. I would be happy to help. I can indeed make some holy water. I have a small supply here, in fact. So, yes, of course. Please, give me a moment.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna ask hey, if you happen to have any, spare vials that you wouldn't mind parting with, I could definitely probably use some.
Certainly, certainly. Just one moment. He takes the 4 vials that you have and makes his way over to the rectory door. He opens it and goes inside. You can all see down the hallway and watch as he goes over to one of the cupboards and pulls out a small glass jar that's stoppered and sealed. He opens it up, and you watch as he very carefully fills up a total of 6 vials. He stoppers them all and returns them to you and gives you over the 6 vials of holy water. He tells you that here you are. I always keep a small supply here for ceremonial purposes, so have to make some more tomorrow afternoon. But yes, please let me know if you need any more.
Will do. Much appreciated. And that will be all that I need.
Okay. Well, the priest then inquires whether or not you all need beds for the evening as well, or if you're planning on resting elsewhere.
I think we should stay here. It's safer.
Sounds good to me.
And we could keep an eye on the kids too.
There are plenty of rooms in the bunk room, so you can absolutely sleep there to keep an eye on the children as well if you prefer. I don't have many rooms here in the church. There are a couple rooms that are not used right now that I just have some things stored in if you would prefer privacy. The bunkhouse, well, does have the children in it after all, but it's entirely up to you.
I mean, Okag would just like, I guess they're pews of some kind.
There are pews in the chapel.
He could just curl up at a pew. He's pretty small.
Regardless of where everybody wants to sleep, you can all find a comfortable corner or a quiet bed to stretch out on. Regardless of whether or not you set watches, it's up to you. The safety of the church is pretty good, and you are all able to have a long rest. You are all awoken bright and early. Well, bright, I guess, is kind of a bad word, considering it is Barovia. There's no sun. It's just gray gloom, but it's brighter during the daytime. There is that. You all wake up to no bird song, nothing more than a cock crowing in the distance, and
Come on.
Urzak probably is awoken with Davos jumping on your chest to excitedly tell you all about the fun he had with the other kids here.
I like to imagine he's just been talking for like an hour, and Urzak is completely tuned out until he's ready to wake up. And just like, what? Huh?
This place has so many children. It's lots of fun. They all want to learn sword fighting from me and magic too.
Well, good morning to you too, I suppose.
But the father said he's making a breakfast for everyone. I don't suppose you want to do some practicing today, do you?
Maybe in a little bit, we have something we need to take care of really early this morning.
The kid looks a little crestfallen, but he is well aware of what you all are doing. So he says, "Oh, okay. I will see you later. I'm going to go have breakfast and say hi to Irina, and I'm going to go make fun of Milivaj because he pees his pants all the time."
Oh, God damn it.
Oh my goodness.
Danika, I swear
Put
to
his hand on his head and just like ruffle his hair and go, "You do that. You know what? Just have a blast."
Absolutely.
Oh my god, can you imagine the poor kid has nightmares about Danika and just wakes up pissing his pants?
Oh God.
I certainly
terrible.
hope so. Irina joins you all before too long, and she says to you, now, as we spoke about last night, the plan is to find the shadow. I still
Right.
think, however, that it is probably... I don't know whether or not you want me to be involved. Him, being apparently infatuated with me, I was thinking about this last night. He could, that could be used to our advantage.
How do you figure?
If he is obsessed with me to the point of making dolls, and you are all planning on, approaching him and confronting him, if I suddenly show up unannounced and just appear before him, would that not make him, if nothing else, confused?
Oh,
A
I
distraction.
suppose.
A distraction at the right moment might give you an advantage, was only my thought.
Well, that's your decision, dear. If you want to get involved, I mean, I'm not. You're an autonomous person. I'm not going to stop you. You can make your own decisions. It's going to be dangerous. I mean, you've already been through a lot, so I mean, I guess you know what you're getting into.
I would like to help, if you will have me.
Of course, my dear.
Of course.
I think I can be of good assistance. My magic will allow me to at least be not not myself until we want me to. So you tell me when you want me to change, and I will do so. Until then, I will look like just another adventure. So time your moment wisely, and maybe it will help at a critical moment. That was my thought. With that decision made, what do you all plan on doing today?
Well, I suppose because based on what Lady Wachter told us, he goes out there like early in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a whole lot of time to do much else, so I suppose we just kind of get moving, right?
What y'all
Well,
think?
I
Yeah.
do believe so, yeah.
Yeah, we shouldn't. Don't want to waste time.
You keep getting lower and lower, Brandie. Just FYI. Okay, so I guess my question is, what is the plan? You know that the captain kind of does his rounds throughout the village, and then once he does his rounds around there, he heads down up towards the lake. The lake is north of the village itself. Are you going to? So yeah, go ahead.
So if we get there before him, do we want to lay some kind of ambush? And as much as I hate to say it, have Arena be the bait?
That's not a that's not a terrible idea. It's not a great idea insofar as morally, but it's not a terrible idea.
I'm not super cracked over it, but if, it's the advantage that we're looking for.
It could catch him off guard, could give us a little bit of a surprise.
And I mean, if we're just gonna go straight to attacking the guy, I could easily and be hiding out somewhere where I can get, decent aim on him.
Or I could disguise myself as Irina. We know he's coming.
This is a fair point too.
So yeah, we hide nearby, have Arena come out and surprise him, maybe stun him somehow.
If Delphine wishes to take my form, when the sheriff sees her as me and reacts to that, another me appearing at the same time or shortly thereafter could also confuse him even more. After he fixates on you, Delphine, I could then drop my own illusion, and he would essentially see two of us.
I mean, in that way, I'm still close enough that if anything happens, I can get Irina out of harm's way.
I mean, I think it sounds like a pretty good plan.
I will remember to keep myself at least 60 feet away from the sheriff and 60 feet close to you, Delphine?
You could probably be a little farther away from that. At least 90. Be within at least 90 feet of me. No. You know what? You're worth a higher level spell slot. Anywhere from 90 to 120 feet should be good.
Because you're worth it.
You're worth it. I'll use a third level spell slot on you.
Delphine has never met Nithros Vale, because shit, he... Well, I guess at the end he would have said that.
Maybe, yeah, that's about what I would say towards the end. Yeah, so Irina kind of chuckles and she says, I appreciate the fact that I am worth more than a second level spell slot. She's chuckling.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means. Very well. So we are going to go to the lake first and set things up there.
Is this the day of the festival, or is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. Correct. Okay.
Maybe.
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 We'll see how this all goes.
Maybe we'll make it to the festival.
Okay, but since you are all heading to the festival before the sheriff is heading in that direction. I'll go ahead and let you see on the map what that scene's gonna look like. I assume you let the father know that you're all taking off and dealing with stuff for the day.
Mm-hmm.
So after meeting up with the father, probably having a very quick, bland, let's face it, breakfast of simple stewed oats with prunes, you all set out into Veros Village, making your way along the main road before eventually turning north like you would be going to the Watcher House or the blacksmith. But you passed both of those and continue on further north, making your way towards the northern entry to the town. By this point, it is about 8 in the morning. The sun, is still behind the clouds overhead like they always are, and there is a bit of a slight chill to the wind as you're all making your way. However, the northern gates are open already by the time you arrive, and the guards, while you don't recognize either of the two that are currently stationed at the gate, they do nod their heads to you, and one of them calls out, "Oi! You're the outsiders! Where are y'all headed today?"
Well, with a smile on his face, he goes,
Oh yeah, big smiles.
"Well, we've heard about this this beautiful lake area to the north of town. We're just trying to check things out. We're killing time before the festival tomorrow, so we're just kind of see what everything this lovely little burg has to offer."
The guards just kind of take note of that and say, "Just don't forget that you must be here before dark. The gates close."
Oh yes, sir. We've seen the things that lurk in the dark. Yes, we will most definitely be inside before that.
Try not to die out there.
It's very sweet of you, sir.
The guards, just with those big fake grins on their face, wave at you, though you can't help but notice the fact that the spears they're holding are gripped pretty damn tightly. Still, they let you pass without incident, and you continue to make your way to the north towards that lake. Once you arrive there, you see very large lake. Let's face it. I'm going to show you first on the Barovia map what this looks like, just so you kind of get perspective based on the town itself, because it is freaking huge.
Damn.
This is easily the largest lake in Barovia. It is at least 20 miles across, end to end. You are currently in what's known as the Sauvage Woods. It is dense and thick, and as you're standing there, making your way towards the water's shore, you can barely see to the other side of it. What you can see at the distance are lots and lots of trees. The forest on the other side of the lake is dense and thick. Now, at the lake itself, you can see there are about half a dozen fishing boats that have rowed out onto the lake. Right now, there's one that's currently at the water's edge, still being loaded up right now. There's a couple Barovian men standing there. They have nets that they're hauling into their boat, and in the distance you can see that the ones that are on the lake currently are either casting nets off into the water or trying to adjust the ones they've just recently cast into the water. It all seems fairly straightforward here. And this close to the lake itself, you can see that there are like fishing racks, just like A-frame poles with nets kind of hanging on them, either in different states of like different states of repair and that sort of thing. You can see that some fish are actually hanging on poles and just stuck into the ground, obviously drying. But other than that, it's it's a lake. Not too much there. So, what do you want to do now that you're at the lake?
To get into some advantageous positions, I suppose. Maybe from the tree line.
I think we need to get him into the woods somehow. There's a lot of people here.
Yeah, it's
maybe-
kind of too many witnesses.
Maybe we circle back and like try to lure him in over here. On the
Like at least maybe with some tree cover we can not attract as much attention.
yeah, that's what I figure.
Can't just kill everybody like Danika probably wants to. Oh, she must be muted. Otherwise, she would respond to that.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't want to kill everybody. Just children. No.
Yeah, that's too many
Jeez.
witnesses.
Well, you've got a little bit of time to prepare. You're not sure exactly when the sheriff is going to be getting to the lake, but you know it is fairly early in the morning. So you've got a little bit of time to scope around and find a place to set yourselves up. But it's also 9 o'clock, so I guess this also means you got about 2 weeks to decide exactly how you want to set yourselves up. So that's good. But hey, well done, everybody. You've survived yet another session in Barovia. Good job. As always, we like to go around the table and have everybody tell us who they are and where we can find them on the internet. But before I get to that, let me just go ahead and say thank you, folks. It's been great having you here. We very much appreciate you tuning in and enjoying yet another insane episode of Sonnet of Blood. Now, Marty, you're the one who did the recap. Why don't you go ahead and go first?
Sure. I'm Marty, and I've been Urzak this evening and all other evenings. This week, I want to promote Monster Cafe, the Monster of the Week podcast from the Bard Rock Network. I'm very proud of the work that's going on there. So go check it out wherever you get your podcasts. You're muted.
Brandie, why don't you go ahead and go next?
Hi, I'm Brandie. You can find me here every other Monday playing Vide on Curse of Strahd. I'm sorry, not Mondays. Every other Wednesday. What day is it now? You can also find me the opposite Mondays playing Maiko on Aether Tech Wars. I'm also on all the socials, or most of them anyway, as River Dragon 82. That is River with a Y, Dragon 82. And yep, that's about it.
Right on. Joe, you're next.
Well, I have been Corwan Oliver Goodwood tonight, as I am every other Wednesday, and every other Monday on the same week as that Wednesday, I also get to play Zolos Vodagith in our Aether Shanties. We're in outer space. We survived a squid / whale / mech ship. And now we just found some hippo friends. And if anybody knows what the hippo creatures are in D&D, we got some gift friends coming in. So that's going to be fun. So join us next, not this coming Monday, but the Monday after that. And you can find me at Blood from a Stone on X.
Right on. Natalie, you're next.
Okay, I just want it on the record that Danika actually likes kids, and she especially appreciates Davos
No,
for
she
his
does.
positivity.
No one appreciates Dappa.
I think Davos is adorable. But you can find me here on Sonnet of Blood every other Wednesday. Other than that, you can find me on probably Instagram or Twitter. I know I have something, but it's Batty Natty. I'm usually not on it. And that's it.
Fair enough. Okay, Dyto, you're next.
Hello, I'm Dyto. You can catch me here every other Wednesday playing Delphine. And on the alternate Wednesdays, I am in Ether Tech Wars with Brandie, where I play Aiden, the honey obsessed psychic. And then over on Lost Caravan in June, I will be doing a little bit of Lancer and a little bit of Beacon.
Heck yeah. Well, as always, I am Matthew R. Dawson, aka Schlorfy Wanderer on the tweets and the instas. I am your friendly neighborhood GM here on the network, and other than this place, you can always find me over on All on the Table TTRPG. That's in association with the Transverse. We promote trans rights in the TTRPG space, so definitely check that out as well. Yeah. Other than that, on behalf of everyone here in Sonnet of Blood and everyone in the Random Rhapsody crew, I just want to say thank you, folks. It's been a delight. So long. Good luck. And until next time, may you live
May you
until you
until
die.
you
Until you
die.
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 Good night, everybody, and stick around. We're going to do a raid.